I know your name's Lewis.
Cousin Vin. Is he Italian?
He must be, bro. I don't know. He's Lewis.
Dude, you can't be called my cousin Vinny unless you're Italian. That's just, there's some rule somewhere.
We are the people of Mercury. I am your interplanetary host, Travis Montgomery. These views reflect one planet and one planet alone.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mercury's Cast. I am your host, Travis Montgomery. Episode 31, we are now past election season, and Donald Trump is the winner. We haven't done a podcast since the number 30 before. We did actually a live podcast during election night, but that thing was so long, and maybe a year after I'll get around to editing that one and posting it when people actually care. I'm pretty sure the election part has been kind of a beaten dead horse for most people right now. We could talk about some future stuff, and we don't need to talk about the election. We can talk about Donald or Hillary, whatever. But I think the election's over and done with. Donald Trump got more electoral votes, and Hillary Clinton supposedly won the popular votes. I don't know how many of those she could have finagled probably to get the win, or tried to at least. But anyways, I'd like to welcome on board. You know him from at least about 5 episodes. Tim McGee will be joining us for most of them at least. Tim's coming on as a permanent partner in this planetary podcast. Tim, why don't you say what's up to the people?
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may have heard me on such episodes as... No, I'm just messing. What up, everyone? What up?
How do you feel about being a part of this? Is this something that's going to be beneficial to you? I know I like talking with you. I just did it so we could talk more, because you live all the way on the other side of the damn country now.
Because you miss me so much. No, man. I'm excited to be a part of it. I haven't been able to tune in or actually much of my life lately. I haven't really been abreast of the social issues, but I mean, I've got a finger on the pulse, I should say. So obviously, hopefully have a few things I could weigh in on. But obviously, I'm just a citizen, man, with a voice.
Well, I like you for this position because you're like a 360, 360 kind of topic guy. Like you got a small hand in everything. You got a lot of life experience, and I know you very well. You're one of my best friends. You and Sean probably are up there. And Sean would be – he's going to be a part of this. He's going to be a permanent part of this at some point. But it's just not feasible right now for his lifetime schedule and work environment and stuff like that. So I'm happy to have you on, and now
thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you on, and Darin, glad to have you back as well. Interested to hear your post-election season thoughts. How are you feeling on this wonderful evening?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Beautiful. So, give me your on election night. What was going through your brain when it started looking like Donald Trump was going to take this thing over? Not that we said we were going to not talk about the election, but I mean, you had to be really thrilled. We were just in a state of disbelief because I didn't think that it was going to happen.
Well, me and you differ. I've been calling this for a while in our discussions. There's a big chunk that the media was missing, and they had no clue what was going on with the American public. They were all relying on their polls, and I was one to say polls are bullshit, and what do you know, the sleeping giant came alive.
It is funny, and I think there's a lot of people that were silently supporting Trump that were too scared to say that they were a fan of his, at risk of looking like a bigot or a racist.
Yeah, there was a lot of people like that.
And I think that was part of the problem. It's you can't, like, what, you're just going to say that half of America is racist and half of America is bigot and sexist? And and stuff. I think that's where Hillary got into some trouble.
That's not just
by the left media too kind of shot themselves in the foot. And I think that you are right. They were so biased in their reporting that they weren't getting all of what America was saying. Really, they weren't getting the other side of the story. And as we know, it's pretty much liberals that control the media.
Yep. I don't know what really to say other than the fact that they just completely whiffed. They were gone. And what it was, I don't even think it was just them missing. It was their arrogance. Their arrogance. They thought because, they know so much, and all of the peons across America that don't have these big salaries and yada, 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 they're so out of touch with the average Joe. And they really had no idea. I mean, if you look at the votes, you got New York and California. That's where she won. The rest of the country went Trump. Like the entire rest. Trump won 2,500 counties. Hillary won 500. Yeah, that's pretty bad. So
it was definitely
it's all the major cities.
Sweeping win.
So what was your thoughts on it? And being out there in North Carolina, what was the general consensus out there? I'm sure there's a lot. You would probably deal with a lot of people that were upset about the result of the election.
No, not really. As you guys know, North Carolina was really one of the battle states, and they had really tried to make a strong campaign here in the last week or two. And you know what? I don't know if it made a difference or not, but really, just pretty much as you guys said, there's a lot of people who felt like their voice wasn't being represented in what her platform, just as well as Obama, and then that's been the general consensus, and that's been across the country, and that's not anything new in my opinion. I think that like he said, like he had been calling it, I think that like this was something that I knew since early this year when he won earlier. It was just kind of like all right, well, the people have somewhat spoken, and people could say what they want to. Oh, those are just early polls, but you know what it is too. It's also, I mean, me myself. You guys are not gonna like this. I mean, I have to say, I can't say I completely 100% am happy with the system we are working in, and I mean, it's definitely better than anything else in the world, and I'm definitely happy to be American, and I would never want to take that for granted or ever, disrespect any of the people who have fought for my freedom. But with that said, and the freedom of speech and being able to say, people have a right to say what they feel. And personally, what I feel is that where we've come as a country at this point is obviously there's a split divide, and there's, and you could say it's economical, you could say it's racist, you could say it's sexist, you could say whatever it is, but the truth about it is, we're not a United States at this very moment in time, and that's what's scaring people. That's what's really the edge that's on everybody's whoever's nervous about what's going to be happening as he's preparing and selecting people as his cabinet. So there's a huge distrust amongst also on the other side of that whole. On the other side of that whole perspective, as there's a lot of people who's happy that Hillary didn't win. I for myself did not agree with a lot of what she was going for, but at the same time, whether it was emails, which I know a lot of people have abused their privilege in terms of security. She just got found out. She just basically, she got caught with that, and that's horrible. I mean, she's not excused. But if you're looking at someone who's going to lead this country, what are some of the, the things that you're going to want in a president? So foreign policies you're going to look at. You're going to look at, domestic affairs, but obviously, childhood, parenting, like education, things like this, taxes, but qualities. Who would you say mostly out of all those, people who were on the ballot is someone you would like to lead this country? Is it Trump? Is he the number one person?
Well, if you ask me that question, then I'm gonna have to go with yeah.
Okay.
Just because, if you want to just look at qualifications for the job, he's not a career politician.
Okay. That's a huge point.
But I think that this country needed a change. We need a reform of how things are done, and the old way of doing things. Maybe it's not working, like you said, that you didn't really agree with the how we came to this conclusion. I think not being a career politician might be a plus because he's going to run the country like a business, and maybe that's the way it needs to be run instead of special interest and lobbying groups and getting their way. Who knows? They might still get their way. I've been saying that let's give them a year and see what happens.
Obviously, we voted him in, right? Well, I didn't vote, so I said I didn't want to disrespect any of the people who fought, but I didn't participate in it because of my one simple reason. I feel like in looking back in the last 4, elections, I'm seeing a trend. And really, it's not anything, say, like I said, it's like, I don't know if I have 100% faith in the system that we have as a government. There's supposed to be checks and balances, but I see that there's big business involved in government now. I see that there's, and that it's going to be run like business. And you have it in the news about his kids and how they're supposed to have this arm's length deal. Is he going to have some kind of influence, like what happened with the stocks and everything as soon as he, got in the office? There's going to be definite, ramifications. It's just, is it going to be hugely detrimental in the first year? Is it going to be something that can be fixed? Is it going to be something that's going to lead us to the next war?
First year is going to be nasty.
That's what I'm thinking.
You want to unpack that for us, Darin?
We have a society. I'll jump right into it. We have a society, time and time again. What generally fixes the problem? The founding. The people that back up with the founding all the time are the conservatives. If you understand, we're not dealing with, Kennedy Democrats these days. We're dealing with full-on left-wing, like way over the top, and then you have the way over the crazy right guys, like you got your Alex Joneses out there. Thank God he's not in government, but
I still listen to some of his shows though.
No, he's good. He comes across with some good stuff, like make you open your eyes and look at stuff. But then there's some stuff you read and like listen to him, you're like, holy crap, dude, shut up. That's just way too far. But I'm a study of this stuff. I don't know what it is. I live, eat, and breathe it, and I've studied. What we see here today with leftism in America is not a Kennedy-style Democrat. It's a full-on takeover of Marxism and socialism. And what it does is it buries people. And one of their biggest tools that they use is class and race warfare. The poor, the middle class, the rich, the black, the Hispanic, the one-armed bandit, the minorities, all that stuff. They just boom, push, everything's that's all they have. They don't run on policy. And then what they do is, the government's going to give you, the government's going to give you, the government's going to give you over and over and over again. And what that's done is that's created dependence. When you have dependence, you have lack of freedom. People get pissed. They want their freedom back. They become dependent on, say like the whole border thing with the Hispanics. Let's cut to the chase. It's not about the Hispanics. That's about importing voters for them. That is a tool for them. Without an underclass minority that is dependent on government, the Democrat Party does not exist. They have no policy to run on. If you really think about it, that's what they.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't go as far as that, but I kind of get where you're coming from. But a lot of, a lot of the voices that were represented in the election this year was not so much the people who didn't come out and vote last election. They came out and voted. They voted a different way this time. And and beyond that, a lot of people who didn't vote at all, who felt like they weren't a part of anything or that their voice wasn't being represented, they came out and vote, and that's what really gave us that tipping point. And this is where we are. I keep saying it's a very exciting time to be alive, but God damn it, if I'm not clenching my butt cheeks.
I tell you what, man, Trump's a little scary to me. I love what he's doing. I was against him the whole way in the primary. I'm a Ted Cruz guy, so during the primary, I was just ripping Trump, because he's not a conservative. And I'm a full-blooded, conservative, principled, freedom, liberty guy. I don't have anything... If it doesn't revolve around the Constitution, freedom, and liberty, I don't want anything to do with it. Period. I don't care which side of the fence you're on, who you're with. You Donald Trump, freaking that ass clown Lindsey Graham, freaking these guys that were running. Ted Cruz. He was my guy from the get-go. All right, Cruz lost the primary. I was pissed off for about a week, maybe two. And so, well, it is what it is.
Right.
We have to beat Hillary Clinton. And it's not... I'll take the crookedness and all that stuff out of it. I mean, her being a crook and using the pay-for-play and all that stuff, whatever. Her policies. What is her policies and what does the Democrat policies offer America? More spending, more dependence, same place, you depend on me. They're not providing opportunity for those minorities. They're not providing opportunity for legal immigrants to come in and, thrive. They can't grow. They're just so dependent on the government. They can't go out. Like, I want the guy that I don't know that just came in here to live the American dream. I want that son of a bitch to be a billionaire. If he can do it, by all means, do it. Hell, give me a job. I don't care. I want everybody to succeed. But the policies within the Democratic Party that I've seen offer nothing. And the results that we've seen has been, what do we got? 12 million more people on food stamps. What, 49% of the United States is on welfare. 54 million people out of the labor force, and they're floating this 4.9 unemployment rate with the U3 number, but they don't mention the U6, which is like up at 11. So realistically, you're looking at a 16% freaking unemployment rate. They're blowing smoke up our ass. And the gap between the rich and poor have gotten bigger. The people's, you got Obamacare coming in, dude. Some of these freaking people with families, they're paying their insurance is just as much as their freaking mortgage. That's a joke. That kills people. How do you live?
It's tremendous.
I think everybody's getting touched, and the thing is,
premiums are tremendous.
Time that the people who who have been doing okay is getting touched, and that's the lashback from it. When the in 2007, 2008, and Obama's running again, and I guess the housing bubble crashed, and I mean, we're looking for some kind of bounce back, some kind of whatever what we're looking for, but as a country, but at the same time, are we running for desperately taking the lesser of two evils type deal every time? Is it going to be because honestly, I gotta say, man, I mean, the issue goes way beyond just this country, and I'm thinking about, no matter what you're going to do at this point, you're not going to fix a problem if you can't approach it from looking at it like, okay, well, we have this amount of people in this country, we have this kind of incarceration rate, and then we have this kind of crime rate, and then we have this, and then you look at it and you see that what's largely represented as what is the general consensus is not really the general consensus. When you say minority, you say, what's represented as the minority, but not really knowing how much of that minority is not even on the map. You know what I mean?
Right. and that was my point with Trump and like the whole election and how people miss what people were on the election predictions, because they were counting on, like, say, the Hispanics. Oh, the Hispanics vote's going to be good. Blah, 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 blah. Well, it turns out 58% of the Hispanics that voted for Trump.
No, I saw the banners. There was banners, Hispanics for Trump, and they knew that some of their cousins were going to get deported, but they didn't give a shit.
Okay, let me couple things. I think the word minority is a very slippery slope, because when you're talking about people that are farmers in the Midwest, then if you're in their town, then yeah, you are the minority. But in the big cities, like where I grew up, where I was the minority, so it's kind of like, and even if you look at it at a broader scale and a general population, big, fisheye lens, it's about even if you look at the numbers, as far as like, there's definitely more white people in America than there are any other race. But I think that the 50% margin has been overtaken. So it's kind of like, to me, the word minority is kind of a catchphrase, or like a hot, like, it's convenient to use on both sides, whether you're trying to talk about institutional oppression against minorities, or whether you're trying to just put them in a box to bash them. It's just I think a lot of issues of race and whatever can make you a minority gets lost in the translation of it being a class issue. And like Tim was saying, with how the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, and there's no denying that. And that's why we need more jobs for, like what Darin was saying, the exaggerated or the under exaggerated unemployment rates. They keep those things low so that it looks better on a national scale. Obama's unemployment numbers will look better. And they make it really hard now, actually, to get unemployment. You got it, that link that's on the website. You got to go through a wormhole to find the actual application to do it. If you don't know English well, then you're probably going to need some help with that.
You got to understand, though, what is unemployment? I mean, if you understand the way, I've been doing finance the last 10 years, bro. It's like, you understand that debt is something that they need, is what makes things work anyway. So unemployment for them is it's not hurting them, like, you know what I mean? And that's what he was saying, which is like dependency. If you have a dependency, then you can't really get out of the rat race. If you can't get out the rat race, then you have raising crime. Then you have more issues that you have, like, and now you're being incarcerated, and now you're benefiting from that same person you're putting in jail for being in a situation where they felt like they had to resort to like worser things to do, and then make them work in jail and get paid off of that. So to me, it just sounds like modern slavery. If you're going to basically, and it doesn't have to be a race thing or a class thing, but if you basically put somebody in a situation where they cannot economically do better for themselves, and their inalienable rights are being, thwarted, then what you're doing is literally giving a person, like, it looks like you're giving them a choice, but you're not. And I'm not the smartest person. I'm not the most intellectual or articulate, but I know when I'm fucking being hustled. And, and I get like these tingly hairs on my neck when someone's trying to hustle me. And it's the thing where they're trying to show you, it makes it look as though where you have the option of choice. But the truth of the matter is, this has been orchestrated. You have to know that if I'm in a control position, I'm not going to give you the option to change my control. I'll let you play. You can sit at the table, but the house wins.
Right. And that's exactly the point I've been trying to make for so long about modern day slavery. It's the dependency, man. Here's a buck. Come back to me when you need more. Come back to me when you need more. Vote for me. Here's another $1. Here's another paycheck.
Screw that. I want $10.
And if you think about it, dude, and I'm going to quote the guy who put in welfare, and it is nasty. When they put in welfare, Lyndon Johnson, Air Force One, we will have these niggers voting Democrat for the next 200 years. End quote. That's what the man said. That's what the plan was. That's what they do. But now it's it's the same thing. It's just they make people feel guilty. They guilt you. How do I say this? They try and, like I was saying with the whole class warfare thing, they manage to stuff everybody in a box. Oh, you got to feel sorry for this person. You got to feel sorry for this person. Oh, pay more taxes for this guy. Pay more. They need their votes, and it's a bunch of crap. And you got conservatives over here on the right going, dude, go better yourself. Here's lower your taxes so you're not getting hit and hammered as hard as the next guy. You have more money in your pocket if you have less taxes. Same with the businesses. They have more money in their pocket. They can hire more people. They can pay their people more wages. They can expand, and it just builds from there. And it just drives me nuts that people don't see it. It really, and then they come off, oh, you're a racist, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to support these people. You're right. I don't want to support these people. I want these people to do better than I do. I want them to crawl up. I want them to climb that ladder. I want them to freaking.
And again, I don't know, man. I mean, it's easier said than done. But again, if it looks like from where you're sitting that that ladder is very easily accessible, as it was for every as the next man, then I mean, yeah. But the whole pull yourself up by your britches approach really only applies to people who had britches in their drawers. I mean, I mean. You gotta have britches to start.
There are a lot of people that are born. We could use the ghetto of Long Beach as an example, where their family's on welfare, and the dad left, dad's gone, mom's on welfare. The school system's trash. The school system sucks. You ain't learning nothing there except for how to bully people and beat people up and be nasty.
No, they're re-emulating their parents and doing the same ignorant things that their parents are doing. And the teachers are like, it's one person to 30 kids, and they're more like babysitters than teachers because they can't get
probably more than that. Probably 35 or 40.
It's really a joke. It's a joke, and you want someone to do better for themselves.
Right. So, there is that situation, and there's no, it's not black or white, pardon the pun or anything. It's like there's a lot of gray area. It's not a switch that's on or off. It's a dial that goes in 180 degrees. It's and there are some people that they get used to living a minimalist life and used to the government aid, and then when they don't get it, they start bitching and complaining because they're used to it now. And that's to go back to what Darin was saying. That's kind of how Marxism is ran. Is that you don't
exactly how it's ran?
You pretend to work. That's one of the things that they used to say in communist Russia, is that we pretend to work and they pretend to pay us. When none of the above was happening, and it's a huge complicated problem. That's why we're here to try and hash these things out. And Tim, this is why you here, because we need to hear the opinion from someone who can think outside of our box. And there are people that are born into a straight, fucked up situation, and their chance of making it out is not as great as mine, from me being born with a dad that owns a semi-successful business and growing up in Cyprus or Cerritos, where we did. But I will say,
Cerritos too, bro. Don't forget. I know a lot of black Republicans. It's not about. I mean, I know more black Democrats, obviously, but I know a lot of black Republicans. I know a lot of black people who don't smoke.
the notion of privilege, and if do the research, the most privileged people that are born in this country are born to a mother and a father that are together and married, whether it's stable or not. The more successful people.
That's what I'm saying. If we're gonna talk about like family structure, then I mean now we're talking about what the social issue is. It's not about. I mean, if you're talking about freedom and how it's supposed to, really, work for the American citizen, you should be able to, take that responsibility and not take it for granted as a parent, as someone who has a family, and teach your kid what it means to, what country means, what family means. And if you don't, then you're the problem. Not black people, not people who are, because I mean, we could go all day on that. I mean, the whole thing is like, if you're not starting, like I said, if I'm the person who's running the game, and I let you vote or I let you play a part of the game, and the whole issue is you get to choose, but you only get to choose from a set rule of options that I allow and that I give you. If I took your people and I split up those families and I sold your families away and at the same time, kept you segregated or separated or made you seem at least more animalistic or crime, bred and more, for decades and centuries, to where even up until, maybe 20, 30 years ago, people were still marching and getting whatever. People, obviously, I know there's more than black kids that get shot down in the streets. I know it's not just, black people's lives who matter. But at the same time, it's like, if you're going to talk about it and compare apples to apples, then no, it's not the same. It's not the same upstep. It's not the same footing. It's not the same. You don't get to say, okay, well, you have the same opportunities, because it's coming from a different place. It's a different, and that's something you can't, when you harrow out someone's culture and you horror out somebody, who they are, where they come from, they don't have any connection. They can't go past knowing who their grandfather is. They don't even know where they come from. Then yeah, what do you expect from that person?
Well, I've got to go grab a plate of food, and that was an excellent point you made. But I'm going to touch on it real quick.
Okay, when you come back, I want to talk about his cabinet.
Yeah, real quick.
Okay.
It starts at home, the parenting, and for God's sakes, they need to quit teaching these kids that everybody gets a fucking trophy, or they're going to end up pissed off at an election getting fucking aromatherapy and dog therapy and these call-out class bullshit because they didn't get their fucking way. That's a problem. They need to quit that shit.
That's the problem with the whole country right now. Is everybody thinks everybody gets a blue ribbon. No, dude, motherfucker. It's
fucking. Some people, unfortunately, it sucks, dude. It did like to your point of what Travis was making. Some people are born in this situation. Some people pull themselves out. Some people don't, and unfortunately, that's life. And there's never going to be a utopia where everybody grows up and everything's just fucking hoity-toity. Some people suck in life. Some people are going to get hit by a bus tomorrow. It's just the way it is, dude. It's reality.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
And we don't want them running the country, damn it.
Yeah, right, dude. I could have an airplane land on me on the 405 going to work tomorrow, dude, and fucking I'm done. You just don't know. But asteroids, some shit. Some people just keep getting hit in the face over and over and over again. Some people can take it. Some people can't. It sucks.
Asteroids. I want to talk about some asteroids. Don't get me started.
Right. I'm going to go grab my plate. I'll be right back. Do 2 minutes.
Oh, I threw it away. I'm sorry. So, Tim, what it boils down to, if you want to get real, the problem with this country is little Yachty and the damn mumble rap.
Really? You want to talk about? You want to talk about it?
No, I just was trying to throw a in the mixing board real quick. But so
you love mumble rap.
Don't get me started. We gotta have our own. We can just me and you do a solo one on just the abomination of what the hell is on the radio. This bitch got me fat, and this bitch got me what? This bitch gonna get my vet. This bitch want to get my vote. I don't want some of that. This bitch want to get my vote. All right, never mind. But going back to what you were saying about Donald, when we were talking about Donald Trump not being a career politician, and that was a concern for you. And granted, that is it's a logical concern. But if he surrounds himself with people that are, and you kind of get this a third-party perspective on how things are going, and like Darin said, pay for play, which is crazy, running rampant in American politics. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Handshake. Let's go out to dinner, and $500,000 later, we have some policy being passed because someone's able to be bought. And I don't think Trump is that dude. I think he's got
he doesn't need to be bought. He has his own money. His face is going to be on the money. Hey, listen, man. Hey, come on, man. Look, Trump, I don't even really believe he's racist or that he's even really, I do think he's sexist, but
men are so much better than women. It's not even funny.
No, I do believe he's to the heart sexist, but I mean, it's his life. It's where he comes from. But
once you have that much money and that amount of power, and then you see the women just falling over you, it's kind of probably going to give you a certain type of perspective.
I think Trump is an opportunist. I think he's a businessman. I think he's smart enough to say what he needs to say under the radar and tap in to get something that resonates with people who weren't outwardly racist or consciously racist, to get them to come out and vote. I know that there's certain language and certain things that can be said to, it's called neuro linguistic programming, NLP. What it is I can say things to you that will elicit a certain response by my tone of voice, by my choice of words, by the rhythm that I'm speaking to you. And this has been a study and been being used in marketing and sales for years and years now. So
what was it called?
Neuro linguistic programming.
Neuro-linguistic programming. I'm the best at it. I'm tremendous. You won't find anyone better than me. Tim McGee.
That's a pretty good Trump voice, dude.
Great guy. Great guy. He's a fantastic. He's going to make a great co-host. Okay, I know it. You know it. Everybody knows it.
No,
Hillary.
If I say to you, I want to make America great again. What do you think I mean when I say that?
What?
As I say, Travis, I want to make America great again. Do you think I want to
like
make sure that the working class is thriving? Is that what you get from that statement?
Well, is it what I think America's going to be great again, what I think you think it is, or what I think Donald Trump thinks it is?
No, when I say that statement to you, what is your initial without overthinking?
Or if someone that I didn't know asked me that?
Yeah, just someone. Don't. When I say
what comes to mind is the national debt, these stupid fucking wars that we're involved with, and the lack of homelessness and unemployment. To me, that would make if you start working on those problems, that would make America great again in my eyes. Okay. What does it mean to you?
Can you tell me when? And can you tell me when this was?
That was just like 1 minute ago.
When things weren't like that.
I guess Darin might argue the Reagan administration was all right, except for Iran Contra.
Oh, come on.
Was all right.
So, all right, the 90s, Bill Clinton.
90s?
I don't even know what we're talking about.
All right, so
I was asking Travis.
That's fine. No, that's fine. He asked.
Say
what?
There's certain things you could say to a person to basically elicit a response in the words of choice that you use, and it's called NLP. And basically, what it's called
neurological programming.
No, it's not conditioning. It's something different. It's more of if I can convey a certain thought to you, not like Inception or something like, but more like if I can convey an emotion to you and without saying a certain thing, then what's really going to grab you is the emotion behind it, or the suggestive intention behind the words that I'm using, as opposed to what my literal sense, which is when I say, if I say to you, let's make America great again, what is your initial thought when I say let's make America great again? Travis's response was saying that he thinks about. Go ahead, T.
I said fixing the national debt, us being involved with these stupid wars, and then also the homelessness and unemployment in the country.
And my follow-up question was, when was this not an issue with with our country?
Look back to Reagan or the Bill Clinton days were pretty good while they lasted. But still, you didn't have a fucking $14 trillion national debt. You didn't have nearly as much homelessness as we have, or unemployment in the country. I think, and I don't know the numbers. Let me bring the fact. Let me contact my fact checker. The fact checker for the program. So are you saying? So Tim, well, your point is that it's pretty much always been like this. Well, always been like that.
No, I'm saying that we're always going to be in a position of where we're going to try to be a better country. But what isn't that a redundant statement to say that? Let's make America great again if we've always been trying to make ourselves better as a country and we're the greatest country in the world?
Well, that's an interesting perspective.
They finagle the numbers too, I think, a little bit.
Well, I can throw all kinds of numbers out there.
1983.
I mean, yeah, we can.
So in the
stats.
80s, it was bad.
I know it hasn't gotten better in terms of employment. I know it hasn't gotten better in terms of a lot of ways.
It looks like it's down, but
if I can get the mass populace to rally behind me with a statement like this, and what is that? You have to think. What is that subconsciously suggesting to you? Not just necessarily like, okay, well, why would you say that? Like, he has a table of people. He has a board of people that sit there, and all they do is do think tank all day, every day. How do we approach this? How do we come out on top? And they've been doing this since they've been hired, and he's been doing it since he's been in business, and he's had money since money's been money. And you could go back to the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, and whatever, and you'll find the same thing. It's like people have a board, just like you said. Trump will surround himself around professionals, even though he hasn't been in any kind of office. He's held no office of the sort. So you're gonna have your round table, and what I'm saying is, at this point, like years and years and years and years and years of doing this has brought about the science of neuro-linguistic programming, of being able to talk to you and get a certain response. When I say this is $9.99, when you see 99, you think you're getting a deal subconsciously because it's 1 penny less than what it would be if it was for. You don't realize it, but people don't think about these things, and it's because of that, and that's why we're easily swayed as sheep. But
drain the swamp.
Yeah, but
so are you saying that? So you're saying that basically he got one over on the American public, and that his intentions aren't aligned with what he was saying? I guess you raised a couple good points, but
I'm saying Trump himself is saying that he hustled the American people. He's basically a businessman, and he knows what he needs to say to get the way he needs to get what he wants, and he's did it. And now he's up at the plate, and he has to show and prove. I'm praying that he does, but goddamn, I have no idea. And and the same thing, I didn't have any idea with Obama too. But I mean, I was hoping things would turn out better. But I
remember the day I was with you when the first time Obama got elected. We were at the studio.
We were at the studio, bro.
Remember that?
Yeah, and the Lakers were playing.
So from that from that day to the present day, 8 years later, how do you feel about? I mean, did he come through for the black people, or is it not his fault? You want to try and unpack that a little bit?
I would say Obama came through for all the people. He was a president for the people. That's why I really feel. I mean, I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but I feel like he really did attempt to consider everyone and be a good president. This is what Trump is saying that he's vowing to do. It's on him to show and prove. But honestly, I think he has his agenda, and he's, I haven't seen anything that shows otherwise. But I mean, unfortunately, at this point, I have no idea what the general American agenda. Like you said, why are we all on these so many different war fronts? Why are we involved in so many things that are not beneficial to us as a country? Why is most of our business, outsourced to other countries? And it's because big business and money comes from you cut your money out from the middle. I can get it done for cheaper, so I'll go over here to do it, manufacture it here, bring it to you, sell it for 500% markup, and then I get rich. And then by that time you figure it out, you don't realize that what you paid for is actually worth a penny.
Huh.
That's why Trump's going to lower the corporate income tax, and that doesn't happen.
I don't know, man. I just know that if I was in a position to do what most of these people were doing, I'd probably do the same thing, which is probably set myself up to not be out of a position of power. And in this situation, I think that Trump has been a position of power for quite some time as a billionaire. He's, and he's got a lot of footholds in different things. I kind of wonder how things would be going with, Cuba right now. If the election had went the other way, if he would be trying to set up some hotels in Cuba. I don't know, bro.
Ain't nobody in Cuba that can afford his hotels.
It's true.
I don't know.
If you want to talk about going back to Obama and the difference between, Obama, his temperament and his speech delivery and his choice of words, was a huge improvement from Bush.
It was NLP, bro. Neurolinguistic. Somebody that's articulate.
And then now we go from him to Donald Trump, who's like crazy off the rails on the other side of the aisle, who kind of just...
We'll carry him out on a stretcher.
The wall just got 10 feet higher.
Yeah, I want that guy to be my president.
But I guess you can't...
I'll take honesty any day of the week over...
Bro, that's
delivery.
what I say. It's like, if it's somebody who doesn't really like black people, I'd rather you just tell me than to pretend like it's not really about, being black.
well, we don't like black people. We just don't. I don't care for them.
Yeah.
I had 3 people in my house, 3 black people in my house last year, dude. Trust me, I know when I'm a racist.
Well, so Darin, what do we have for dinner? I'm curious.
See, dude, that's the problem, man. That's why I'm a Trump dude. I straight up had tater tots and hot dogs.
Hell yeah!
And I don't have a welfare check, dude, so I don't have all the fancy shit.
I don't have a welfare check, but I got this fish. This very, very, very good white fish, swai. I've never been on welfare. I can't speak for the people on welfare. I know a lot of people who need it. I know a lot of people who abuse it. Mostly, a lot of people abuse it.
Whoa! But hold on, you're about to.
But I got this very, 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 very good dish here in front of me. I got some green beans, mac and cheese.
At the Walmart store, they got these salmon steaks, and it's only like $5 for the whole bag, and you get like 10 of them.
Fuckers over here talking about Walmart. Eating fish and shit and green beans. I'll be back. I'm getting more tater tots and chili.
You go, boy.
Yeah, round 2. Be right back.
Well, what do you think about? Let's take a break from Donald Trump for a little bit. We're beating it over the head. What do you think about Kanye West's new shenanigans?
Dude, I have no idea. The last I heard was he voted for Donald Trump.
Oh, you don't know that he's in a mental hospital right now and canceled the rest of his tour?
Oh, yeah, he went in the hospital on his mom's birthday or something, or death day. Or
No, he had a concert and basically he was like 90 minutes late, went up and did 2 songs, and then basically went on a ramp supporting Trump and bashing Jay-Z and Beyonce. Had a mental breakdown, was in the hospital that same night, and then they canceled the rest of his tour. Which brings up a crazy issue because, there's pre-bought tickets for these kinds of things, and insurance will cover it if there is a medical reason for him not being able to perform the rest of his shows. So I don't know. I just think it's a little funny that that he stopped. We switched gears for a little bit. I have a couple questions for you, Darin, but I just switched gears real quick to Kanye West and the canceling of his tour. And do you have any opinion on that? Why do you think he just came out all of a sudden and was so vocal for Trump when he knew that his audience, that's not his audience. The people that listen to Kanye West do not want to hear him support Trump. Do you
can't say that, man. You don't have any stats on Kanye West's demographic. There's a lot of people that support Trump that listen to Kanye West, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people who don't listen to Kanye West. But
I know, but hip hop culture probably wants to assassinate Donald Trump. They'd like to see him gone.
Well, Kanye West is hip hop, so you can't say that either.
Shit, he said he supported Trump, and they fucking scared him so bad they put him in a hospital.
I don't know if he got scared. I'm sure he has bodyguards, but
he also came out against. That was pretty good. But Jay-Z and Beyonce was at the Democratic rally right before the election. Right, you see the picture with.
Wait. Let's be honest with that.
They were paid.
No. That was Hillary Clinton lacking attendance and put her ability to go to a Jay-Z, pre-scheduled Jay-Z, Beyonce concert to attract voters and to get an actual crowd. That's how I knew Hillary was going to get her ass kicked this freaking election, because nobody would show up to her shit.
That shit is hilarious, bro.
There was
Trump campaign manager like 6 billion times.
Well, he was not listening to him. He was not listening to him. He was doing his own thing. And so it was kind of like he didn't need a campaign manager. He was his own damn manager. But so Jay-Z and Beyonce had come out and done the same thing for Obama. So it's not like it was completely out of character for them to go and support a liberal or a Democratic presidential nominee. But to your point, yes, there's at the Trump rallies, and I guess that could have been a huge indicator right off the bat. Trump rallies were fucking lit. They were live. It was
massive, dude.
It was fucking crazy. And then Hillary Clinton's going to high school auditoriums she can't even fill up. But people are coming out in droves for Donald Trump. Trump was scheduled to make an appearance in Bakersfield, but maybe that was one of the times that he listened to his campaign manager, because he's not going to win California. And California is a huge one. Hillary
Clinton, public primary.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. And he skipped that one. I digress, I guess. But still, 55 electoral votes go from California, which is, I mean, it's 20 more. It's more than 20 more than New York has, or I think. It's just, I don't know. And like a divided country, everyone wants to. California and Texas want to break out of the union, but I don't see that happening. That's a whole other thing.
Hey, it's fine with me. Take off. Then the first question you ask them is how are they going to defend their border?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, what happens when?
Fucking liberals. I don't want a wall. Well, how are you going to defend your freaking state? Yeah, exactly.
Well, we can't. As much as I have a heart for everyone, and I've said it 1,000 times, we can't just let everyone come in.
Nope.
It'll bring our quality of life tremendously down. We don't want our children to live in. California has a higher population than Canada.
It's a moot point.
Yep.
A higher population than all of Canada. Okay.
The world, the population of the world has quadrupled in in the last decade. What's going to triple in the next 15 years? It's going to be what the average American survives on today. Will not be able to feed. We would need 4 Americans will have to survive on that in 15 years.
Now we're fucking spoiled.
Population rate. And where are you going to farm?
Yeah, we're spoiled here, man. I just ate more calories in one sitting than those fucking guys get in a month.
Bakersfield. You can farm in Bakersfield.
Bro. I mean, letting people in and, quality of life going down. It's just like you were saying before. Life is life. It's just going to go back to the Western days, bro. Yeah,
you're going to walk outside and someone's going to take a fucking baseball bat and hit you right square in your right nut.
Right there.
Out of the blue. You didn't even see it coming.
Dude, fucking there.
Like somebody just doing a flick. And they're going to be pissed. It's just the way it is.
Like, ping! Yeah, I'm just a man with my little billy club trying to protect my little patch of land guy.
You're going to fucking be walking down the street and a freaking bird's going to shit in your eyeball. It sucks.
And I don't like egg on my face.
So, Darin, have you kept up to date with who he has been choosing for his cabinet positions? A lot of these people have been coming under fire.
Sarah Palin for foreign affairs. You got,
Give me 30 seconds.
That's about to be chief of staff.
Because I'm going to go have a smoke, but my Wi-Fi only goes out front, and my smokes are in the backyard. I'm going to go grab my smokes, and I will jump right into this motherfucker.
Okay. No, I'm just going to...
I'll smoke on the phone. I got to go out front so I can take my phone there because my Wi-Fi. But I got to grab the smokes first.
I thought you said something about his wife. I'm just kidding. Senator Jeff Sessions, Attorney General. The Alabama senator is the first member of the upper chambers to endorse Trump in February. Tom Price, Secretary of Health and Human Services. We're going to learn a lot.
Who is he considering for secretary, Travis?
Secretary of State?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm back. Shoot.
No one knows, right?
Secretary of State? It's going to be Hillary Clinton.
You think so?
No.
Hillary Clinton's a shoo-in.
Nah, man. I think she could be ambassador to Libya.
Isn't that, how funny is that she's actually being considered for that?
For what?
Or,
what about Sarah Palin for Veterans Affairs?
Was that a joke?
No, that's legit. Well, that's what's rumored.
I mean, I guess, all right. So here's the fucking abstract logic for you. If she fucked up so hard the first time with Libya, now she probably has a great deal of knowledge of Libya, which she probably had already before, but now even greater. So why not make her?
No, that was a joke. That was a joke.
No, I saw an article that said that.
Yeah, it was satire.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
You're going to go throw Hillary Clinton as ambassador because the last ambassador was killed.
Oh. Okay, let's make her ambassador to Libya then.
Yeah, I'm all about it. No, not really. I can't wish death on anybody. I can just...
No, I don't do that either.
I'd wish proper justice. That's all I'd wish. She'd go to jail.
Huh. So, any popular picks for his cabinet that just jump out at you, Darin? I know you do a lot of reading.
I mean, like popular picks?
Yeah, Jeff Sessions, Tom Price.
Sessions is a man. He ain't gonna take no shit, and everybody's making a big deal over, Trump said he's gonna take it easy on Hillary, blah 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 blah. No, that's not exactly what he said. He did say that, he's not gonna pursue it. But if you think about who he put in place at the AG spot, that's who's gonna pursue it. Sessions is no joke. He's gonna chase that down, and that's just the way it is. Sessions is a stand-up dude. Even throughout all of his history, political history and stuff like that, he's never chosen sides. I mean, he's a conservative, yes, but he's never played. Everything you see and you read and you talk to the people that know him, dude, he's prosecuted Republicans, he's prosecuted Democrats, he's done all that stuff, dude. The law's the law. This is what it is. You broke it. Here you go.
So he's also the chair of the Senate Committee on Immigration, and he's helping him with his immigration plan also.
Yeah, he would be.
Tom Price, Secretary of Health and Human Services, Georgia Republican. He's been one of the fiercest opponents of the Affordable Care Act.
Yes.
That shit's going out the window.
I've done some reading.
Actually,
getting scrapped.
It's not 100% scrapped, and he's going to be changing a few things, but he's keeping a few things too.
I know that. So
he is going to keep a few things out of it, but one of the most important things that they're going to get rid of is that god-awful mandate.
The mandate was exactly what I was going to say right now. That's so
what's killing people.
How are you going to charge people for not taking up a government service if you don't want it?
Right.
It's gangster business, bro. It's insurance. Hey.
Well, for sure. That's why the insurance company. You don't want an
accident or anything like that to happen to you, cousin Vin.
Yeah, that's why the insurance companies jumped on board. Wait. You're gonna force these people to buy my product, or you're gonna fine them? Oh, absolutely. We're all for it.
Yo, man, I hate to tap out, but not only is my phone dying, but it's 11 o'clock over here on the East Coast, man. My girl got full, day tomorrow and myself, but man, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, gentlemen. And Travis, thank you for having me, man. I'll try to be more,
Yes, sir, Tim.
Yes, sir. But yeah,
thanks very much for coming on, man. It was a pleasure speaking with you too.
Likewise, Darin, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, brother. Thank you. And well, hopefully next week we can do it again.
For shows one.
All right. Take care, brother.
Later.
So yeah, this guy is against the Affordable Care Act. So
yeah, I'm kind of half and half on him. And the only reason I'm half and half is because I'm not as well researched on him as I should be. I've read some things. I'm not as sure on him because there's a lot of other guys out there that I just read all kinds of stuff on. I'm like, yeah, that's the dude. But this guy, I don't know too much on, so I can't say anything too much that I've studied. But word around the campfire is he's not exactly a super conservative, and he's more of a Republican than a conservative.
Right. I understand the difference too.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Well,
but he is a fierce opponent of that Obamacare, and
which is fine. That's all I want from him. That's all I'm fine. I don't care what the hell he does.
That's exactly what his job is, and that's exactly why he's there. Nothing more, nothing less.
Well, good. And I can't tell you. I mean, I've been involved in politics. Not as much as, in 2013 we had a pretty big political show, but But now I've never been so curious about cabinet members because of him. I mean, it was Obama. It was kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. It was kind of like I just didn't even think about it. But now I'm like, who the hell is this motherfucker going to pick for his team? You know, which is going to be huge.
Trump is not a conventional politician. He don't give a shit what anybody else says. He said what he's going to do. He is a businessman. He is a man of his words. A lot of people don't like him, but the dude delivers. He delivers. So, and he's stacking himself. A couple of the recent picks, I'm not too sure about, but the first three, you know, Sessions, Flynn, and Pompeo, oh my God. You couldn't have a better team in there in the face of ISIS and the face of Russia. And then the Secretary of State being the chief diplomat to the United States. I don't even know why Trump is messing around with Romney or Corker or any of these guys floating around. I think he's toying with
Giuliani.
I wouldn't want Giuliani up there. I mean, he would
Petraeus.
He'd probably be too much dirt. I like Petraeus, but you got to remember, Secretary of State, Petraeus would be more fit in the military role. Secretary of State job is to be the diplomat. We're supposed to negotiate. We're supposed to talk. We're supposed to do all this stuff. You know, you want to put Petraeus in somewhere where he's going to go in there and just unleash him and kick ass. Like, hey, I know where you are. I'm going to bomb the shit out of you. This is what I do.
Ron Paul, Secretary of State.
No.
Boom. Fuck yeah.
John Bolton. I think that's what Trump's going to do. John Bolton. There's not too much talk about him.
Bolton? Michael Bolton is has the sweetest, most smoothest, soothing voice ever.
Yeah, I don't know anything about those guys. I just know he's a singer. I'm all politics, dude. You can drop names and I'll be like, I've heard of them. But I wouldn't be able to tell you shit about them.
Michael Bolton was famous for covering songs. But that's fine. Are you a Ron Paul guy at all? Or what do you think about him?
He's an isolationist. Overall, for the most part, being a libertarian, he's a small government guy, I like him, but there's on his isolation style foreign policy I do not like. Because a lot of people think, we should keep our nose out of this. We should keep our nose out of this. We should keep our nose out of this. That's what everybody says. And to understand the depth of what's really going on and what the United States' role is in America, and it is what it is, dude. The United States keeps everybody in check. And without the U.S., what happens? ISIS takes over. Russia takes over. China takes over. And you got all these people running around. You know, it sucks. We spend a lot of money doing it. But in reality, as far as the most moral, just people in the world, it's always the United States.
Right.
You know?
Well,
I mean, think about it. Where would the world be today if the United States wasn't around? World War I and World War II. What would happen if Germany won? Where would we be?
World War I. Yeah, we definitely didn't start that one. World War II.
It's not a matter of starting it. We finished the motherfucker.
Yeah, we got in late. But then,
if we didn't defeat the Germans, how would the world be today?
We would be speaking German. And
yes.
It would
be fucked up.
I mean, it's hard to say how that country could have evolved in the next 60 years. There could have been a revolution 30 years later. You never know. I mean, it's easy to say that it would have just been complete fascism and Hitler-type rule, but you never know.
You have to remember, Hitler was a genocidal maniac. He would have dropped bombs on people that disagreed with him. His own people. He didn't care.
It's
so
true.
There wouldn't have been a revolution.
Well, Hitler would have died eventually, and who knows what would have happened after that.
Yeah, one of the other Gestapo would have taken over.
That was such a crazy fucking moment of history, though. Just the way all that shit went down.
Yeah, and when you think about it, dude, back when that stuff was going on, who pulled together? United States. You had kids turning in toys. You had people working at factories, you know, kids donating their fucking Tonka toys for metal.
Which is cool, but how many of those Americans are left today? And then how much has America intervened itself and created wars because we got rich off of those two wars. We became a superpower through manufacturing and making money off of all that crap when the wars were gone. So it's kind of like, well, this is how we made our money. Let's start another war so we can keep this war machine moving. And that's that's my biggest gripe about being an isolationist. I don't know how much of an isolationist I am, but it seems like we create conflict so we can keep conflict because we need it. And all these big corporations that create these arms and these guns, it's like they got to be used somewhere. You know, all this technology, all this the funding that goes into this type of technology. It's like why not? Why can't we? If we're gonna go play Superman on the world stage, then why can't we just go help out the North Koreans then? I guess that might probably start a war with China, but I mean, if that's our goal, and then now, see, here's the other part of me is why I'm a flip flopper is I fucking hate ISIS too. I wish we had a better way of just killing them and just getting to them and wiping them out because they're coming over here now and they're fucking with Americans. So I flip flop on this type of stuff all the time.
Well, and maybe a little bit of try and help. Maybe understand is this doesn't go back to American or this, that, and the other. You gotta think of the world on a world view and what it is. Why wars have happened long before America existed, and it comes down to man's natural state to be free. They're always going to fight. Somebody's going to try and control you. You got these religions. This religion's going to tell you this, and you have to do this. And then you got this big freaking dictator dude. Oh, you got to do this. People rise up. They always do. So there's always going to be conflict. And being the United States, we're the leaders of the free world. Imagine what that means. The free world, freedom and liberty. We're always fighting against tyrannical people. Like, we're not going after Muslims. We're going after the crazy radical. We're not trying to kill Muslims. Hey, do your thing. Stay in your corner, man. Worship whatever it is you worship. It's all good. But your little radical group here is cutting off people's heads because they don't agree with them. That's
and trying to get into America and kill Americans.
Right. And that's just...
And this is documented. This is, it's we're not making this stuff up. And I like what you said about it's not about Muslims because for the most part, Muslims are peaceful people. There is
I know quite
a tiny percentage of them that are radical and they want to do some crazy ass shit. And there is a lot of Muslims in the world, fucking over a billion. Right?
Well over a billion. They're the biggest block of people. But the other thing that trips me out is, they're talking about the religion of peace and this, that, and the other, and then you have, say 2 billion Muslims. And then you have probably about 50 million ISIS guys or radicals, if they want to say it. But let's be realistic, just like the immigration policy here. It's 50 million, so it's probably 100 million. Why aren't these billions making a stand against these guys?
Well, they do. It's not like it doesn't happen, but you would think a bigger majority of the good Muslims would turn against him. But then there's, and I think this is the point that you're getting to, is that there are Muslims that are Muslim or that are a jihad. What's it called when you just condone a group's actions, or apologist? Right. There are jihadist apologists within the Muslim community, even though they don't believe it.
Right. It's natural. Like, for instance, here in the United States with the Black Lives Matter, we all know it's a bunch of shit. It's a big front group, dude. It is. You got people out breaking the law. You got people getting shot, and then they claim, "Oh God, a white cop shot him for no reason." 2 months later, we got the video after it's all been through court. Yeah, the guy that actually shot him was black. It was a black cop. The guy did have a gun, and his wife was yelling to drop the gun. But you went around and protested and pretended, this guy wasn't breaking the law or anything like that. It's a big fucking pile of shit. The dude was wrong. He was a fucking criminal. He made his choice, and he died. Period. It has nothing to do with the fact that he was black. It had the fact to do that person was a freaking violent criminal, and his lights got put out.
There's that, and then there is the instances that where the police go too far too. It's
yes. There's always a small, like I always say, there's no such thing as a utopia. But you got to figure, okay, you got 2-something million cops, law enforcement, just at the little level in the country. How many times do you drive down the street and you just see a freaking cop kicking the shit out of somebody or doing something stupid for no reason? Never. It's very, very, very minimal. And yes, there are those dumbass cops that get into power, and you're talking about like 1 out of every freaking 10,000 that's a douche. And they get caught, they get rolled up, and they get thrown in jail. Eventually, they may make 20 years, but eventually they're going to get caught.
I don't know how you came up with that number, but it's pretty interesting.
I'm just throwing it out. I'm paraphrasing. Just can hold me accountable to those numbers, but I'm saying the percentage of that is very, very small. Like you're running a business, or you got freaking 100 good employees, and you got that one jackass in the back that's always fucking up.
Right.
For the most part, the business is good.
I would say my whole biggest thing about this, and I don't think we've ever gone into this one yet, so maybe this is a good time. Well, it would be nice for Tim to be here for this one, but he's not. Anyways, my biggest gripe with the whole Black Lives Matter and police brutality issue is that the police need to be better trained, in my eyes. They're totally. I feel like they just throw these guys through a 6 week boot camp, show them how to use a pistol, and give them some pepper spray, and then they're off. They're off in the streets trying to deal with like the worst scum of society, and they've got just a boot camp under their belt. They're not trained for that crap. I think they need, first off, like to be a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, like a good 6 months every day, straight wrestling, hand-to-hand combat type style stuff. Because that way anyone not good enough. I've seen cops roll with people and they look like idiots.
Yeah, some of them.
They need a great if they're going to be enforcing the laws and supposed to have this higher superiority authority over us, then they need to actually be superior to us so we can take them seriously, and they just don't have to start shooting people, which is not – they shoot, I think, way too many people because they can't really defend themselves. And so they end up in a weird situation where they have someone that can be potentially violent, and that's their only answer is to just pull out their gun and start shooting. But if they don't have a gun or if they don't have a weapon, then if you were a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, you would probably be able to just put the cuffs on him or choke him out and put the cuffs on him. The guy wakes up in cuffs. I mean,
I don't hear of too many situations where cops shoot somebody that isn't armed.
There are.
Well, it does happen.
It happens. Yeah,
but rarely.
Or
my brother's been a cop for shit.
So in the shooting situations, they probably jump the gun a little bit too. I mean, I guess it's hard to train someone for that kind of scenario. It's kind of one of those things where you'd learn on the job. So I don't know if they're making decisions to shoot people. So they want to go home to their family and kids, and I understand that.
They put throwdown on them in the training, like as far as academy and stuff like that, man. I haven't personally gone through it, but I've witnessed it. My brother, I went through banquets and all that stuff in graduation, dude. They put them in freaking, like, not gas chambers, but they put them in a block room and they put freaking tear gas in there and they make them say certain things and come out, crawl out, and they got to get out and fight somebody in pad. Dude, they do all kinds of crazy shit. Pepper spray 'em and all that stuff. I mean, they're trained to where, like, okay, say they pepper spray them so they have that experience. So they know when they pepper spray somebody else and they accidentally get themselves, they've had the experience and they're more calm when they're taking the guy over.
That is a smart move.
Right. So in the back of your head, you're like, as a cop that's been pepper sprayed, all right, this is going to suck. I'm still going to beat this guy's ass. I'm pepper sprayed. He's pepper sprayed. But you know you're going to be okay. While the other guy is freaking the fuck out. You know, doesn't know what to do, can't breathe, and blah, 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 where the officer remains, say, calmer. I mean, you're not going to be calm when you get your pepper spray on her. So, shit, I've pepper sprayed myself when I was a repo agent and I had to pepper spray a dude. That shit sucks, dude. It fucking ruins your day.
It ruins your day.
Oh, man.
Oh, you were a repo agent?
Oh, I was for a while, yeah.
Wow.
That little white ass used to run around down in freaking, like, Compton, Watts, all through South Central, all that shit, man. I'd be creeping through the night.
Wow.
Jacking cars.
So tell me about the time where you pepper sprayed yourself. That sounds like a great story.
Well, I was pepper spraying a guy that was trying to get in my truck after I got a car, and I was spraying him, and
your truck.
Yeah, he tried to get me out of the truck, and that didn't work out so well for him because I sprayed the shit out of him. But in the meantime, I got a little bit of me. Dude, big. I'm not very big, man. I'm like 5'8" on a good day, 150 pounds. Right. And this dude, big dude. I mean, he had to be shit. I don't know. I was looking up at him like he had to be at least like 6'5".
Yeah.
And he just a big freaking built dude. Fuck, he dropped like a baby. Hit that shit. He just boom. Heard him screaming and oh my god, it was awesome.
Oh man!
Thank God I had that shit, dude. Because if he would have got a hold of me, fuck, he'd have beat my ass. He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
Well, that's a scary job. How long do you have any other crazy stories like that? I mean, people, you're going there to pick up their vehicle.
I take their livelihood.
So you hook up the truck, the thing first, and then you knock on the door and say, "Hey, I'm taking it." Is that?
Oh no! If I hook up to it, fuck you. I'm gone. I got your shit. Pay me. I need to put money on my table.
Tell them to put it at a park or whatever.
Right. No, not even that. I'll just fucking drag that shit down the street. I don't give a fuck.
Really?
Banks don't care. They just want their collateral back. They want their VIN number. Their VIN number is collateral. That collateral is covered under insurance. If something's wrong with that car, they'll claim it on insurance. No big deal. I still get paid.
I know, but you can't drag a car with the brakes on all the way down the street, can you?
Fuck, dude. I've driven them miles like that. People following me and shit. Brakes locked, transmission locked. I've busted a few transmissions just pulling because you hear it's all of a sudden you hear it go and then the freaking shit's all done, dude, and it just goes.
Oh, wow.
You hear a big snap and then the wheels break free and then it's all good.
Oh, you're like, okay, we're good now.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's all kinds of awesome.
Dude, I've put the forks of the freaking forklift through radiators because people were trying to come out. By the time I was trying to get, they'd see me. Like, oh, man, I forget. I was in Vernon, I think.
Yeah, I know where Vernon.
Dude,
they got the Farmer John slaughterhouse over there.
I don't know. Everywhere, it's bad neighborhood. But I just remember the lady's name sticks out of my head like a sore thumb. Shaquita Johnson. That was her name. But anyway, dude, I'm rolling up, and I park around the corner. I'm looking for a Cadillac. It wasn't the Escalade. It was the one down, the mid-size SUV they have. I forget what it's called. But anyway, I parked around the corner so they wouldn't see the repo truck. And this is broad daylight. And I come walking around the corner, see the car out on the street, and it's in front of an apartment building. And this is the hood, dude. There's dudes hanging out up there. I think she was a prostitute, honestly, because that's just what they do over there. It was just a nasty, nasty neighborhood. And there's dudes. One guy's over there's got a pipe, freaking, and the other guy's got like a bat. I don't even want to know if there's guns or anything there, but Anyway, I saw the car, so I go walking back to my truck, and I knew it was like, shit, man. As soon as they see me, they're going to come down, and they're going to be yelling. Dude, and I just freaking jacked up, hauling ass up, lowered the thing down, put it in reverse, dude. And as I was going, she come running down, trying to get in the car. As I'm backing up to it, dude, and I just put the forks right through her radiator. Because I didn't have the boom down, because I was backing up and the boom was coming down, and I didn't have it down far enough, dude.
Now you're destroying it.
Oh, whatever. So I figured at that point, if she starts it, she ain't going to make it more than 2 blocks, because it's just going to overheat and die. And, dude, I got that thing hooked up, and there was like 6-8 dudes surrounding my truck, and I had to call the cops, like, fuck, because they're all standing in the front, and then the cops come, and all of a sudden they're just, poof, gone. Bunch of, I don't know, they probably all got warrants and shit, who knows. Bad neighborhood. Bad neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about those earlier. Oh, man, that's got to be I just wonder why you don't do it anymore. It seems like such a great job. I'm just kidding.
It was fun, dude. Don't get me wrong. It was fun as shit, because there'd be guys you'd be chasing around for, months, knocking on their doors. They have that car and they're hiding it. They're hiding it inside the garage. They're hiding it at a neighbor's house. Something, dude. They have that son of a bitch. You've seen them. There's always that time they slip, dude, and you grab it and you make eye contact with them as you're driving away and be like, "Gotcha, fucker." Best feeling ever. This is the big game, dude.
Because that's when you get paid, right?
Oh, yeah. As soon as that thing's on my hook and I bring it back to the yard, dude, that's, $200-$300 right there. Boom, done.
Yeah.
But, it was a lot of fun. I used to do some pretty shady shit. Not really shady. You're right on the edge of the law. You learn what private property rights really are real quick.
Huh.
A lot of people, well, it's gated. I don't give a shit. The gate ain't locked. If I can open it. Well, it was locked. It was locked. Well, where's the lock? Oh, I don't know. Meanwhile, it's in the bush down the street that you didn't know I took it and cut it. But I didn't see no lock.
Right.
Yep, gone. My gate was locked. Officer, I don't see a lock. I'm sorry. Do you see a lock? All right. Have a good day.
Cut both of those links. Damn it.
Put pieces of wood in their garage doors because they're locking it in there. So when they come home from work and they try and park it in the garage door won't open because it's got a little piece of wood in there. And then they figure, all right, so they leave it out for the night and you just come get it later that night because they thought their garage door was broke.
Whoa. You guys got super technical with that.
Oh, yeah. You don't play. That's your livelihood. That's how you make your money. You figure it out. It's all a game. These people want to hide their shit. You got people that you got some that literally come on bad times and okay, it sucks. Got to take a car and they're all good. They're good people. They just come across bad time. And then you got other ones that are just trying to play the game. Let's see how long I can hide this thing.
Yeah.
Get the repo man away. All right, I'll play that game. That's the game I love. I'll get you, motherfucker. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I'll get you.
The game of cat and mouse. Tom and Jerry.
Oh, that's your girlfriend's car in your driveway? Oh, I'll write down that license plate, send it back to the skip trace. Oh, this car is registered over in this city. Oh, I'll go check out that address. Oh, look, there's my car.
Wow. Yeah. That would be a smart the whole time.
It's not safe. It is not safe.
Yeah. So, wow, that's crazy. We know somebody in the repo business in my wife's family. They do pretty good, it looks like.
You can do it. The guy I worked for, man, he started out low and ended up getting a truck and then bought another truck and opened his own business, and he ain't hurting. I don't know how much he's making, but I know that he's definitely not hurting. That's for damn sure.
Right on, man. Well, I think we're going to cut it off now. We didn't even need to really get into anything else tonight. So, thanks for coming on, dude.
No problem.
What else you got going on? You got going any kind of things going on? I know you're always going somewhere.
Oh, going to New York the 9th.
Not the 9th?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
Oh, well, happy early birthday.
Right on.
But yeah, my chick's company, their main corporate office is out in New York, and it's their 25th anniversary. So they're sending, because we're engaged, I'm considered a spouse. So they're sending their employee and their spouse to New York. Plane taken care of, room and board taken care of, staying at the Millennium Hilton. And it's right directly across, I've already checked it all out on the maps and shit. It's directly across the street from the World Trade Center Memorial. And
you're going to be taking some pictures.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
I've been some pictures of that.
I've been dinging out with my camera, too, dude. I've been doing all kinds of crazy photos.
Oh, what kind of phone did you? I got the new iPhone 7. I didn't even get a chance to talk to you about that.
Oh, yeah. You got the handicap phone.
I got the 7S.
Yeah, that's what I got, but I don't have the iPhone. I got the Galaxy.
Galaxy. This was the first one. I just switched from iPhone to or from Android to iPhone. I just switched for the first time ever.
Calming phone.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everything you got to do is through Apple.
Yeah, and that's probably why when I tried to broadcast last week that it didn't work.
Yeah, maybe got some crazy stuff. Yeah, probably actually. What do they have?
I was thinking of that shit.
Yeah, FaceTime.
They have something that I need to learn now, but
yeah, they're fun. The reason I went with the Galaxy is just because this S7 is the Galaxy that I've been into photography and all that stuff. So the S7 has a better camera.
Huh.
For the average Joe using it, they're probably about the same. But if you want to get to the technical, manual, all that crazy stuff, which I do, the Galaxy is a better way to go. But for your average, everyday Joe, you ain't gonna tell the difference between them. They're both great cameras, but that's the only reason I bought this phone. I've
taken photography before too. I kind of geek out on it a little bit, but I'm not there. I'm not there already, So I still haven't. I'm used to the other camera. So I still haven't geeked out on it yet to figure it all out. Slow motion and the time lapse.
Use bad boy. That's the.
What is that? Canon
G5i.
Nice.
Have you seen any of the photos I posted up?
Yeah, man, I see them all the time.
The nice photos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been dinging out on that shit. I don't know, it's just a hobby.
Yeah. Go to Darin Holiday on YouTube or YouTube. Go on Facebook. Well, if you want to draw people to you should you know what? You should do Instagram. Do you have Instagram?
Yes, I do.
So do you post your pictures on there?
Yeah, Jeep and a half.
Jeep and a half? How do you spell it out for us?
Jeep and a half.
All like it sounds?
Yep. And if people can't figure that out, I don't want them following me.
Well, good. I don't want them following you either.
It's pretty straight up. Jeep and a half.
Jeep and a half, all spelled out on Instagram. Go check out his photography.
Yeah, I don't do too much. I mean, I do.
See,
I'll probably throw one or two pics up a week.
But in your Instagram and let everyone see these pictures. That's the best way to do it.
Actually, I've been looking around at actual legit photo sites.
Oh yeah.
Try and check them out to compare with and all that. I haven't figured out. I mean, like Flickr, that's a free one, but I'm probably going to pay money.
You know what? I posted about a year's worth of shit in that, and then they wouldn't change companies, and I could never access it again. They wouldn't change owners or something.
Yeah, Yahoo got it.
And I could never get my shit back.
Do you have a Yahoo account?
No.
That's why. Create a Yahoo account and get right into it.
I think I tried that, man. It didn't exactly work like that. Maybe I need to do that again. But
that was one of the drawbacks that I was reading about it. They said if you're not a Yahoo person, then
I think you had to be a Yahoo subscriber already or something like that.
Yeah, they changed something on it. But I'm looking at like a Smug Mug and stuff like that. And there's another place. I got them written down. I was dinging out. Like you can actually sell pictures on there where people just order them.
Huh.
And it's actually done through a third party. Like you can go on my stuff, check it out. And if you like a picture, you can order like they'll have all kinds of different frames up there, blah, 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 blah. And, it costs that company, say, $25 to make the picture. So I mark it up 20%. Now it's, whatever that would be. I don't know, 33, 47. So I make like $5 on it or whatever. I haven't even done it yet. I'm just thinking about it. So I'm going to get into it. I might as well, if I can make like a yearly subscription is like $35. So if I can sell one picture, maybe two, and make my $35 for each, yeah, I'm good, man. I'll throw them all up there. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people sell them for like screensavers and stuff like that, where people download them on screensavers.
Well, I'll be looking out for more. That's for sure.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, that will be it for this one, and everyone have a good night. And thank you for listening.
All right, Travis. Thank you, sir. You have a good night. I'm gonna say what's up to the woman.
Okay, man. Have a good one.
Are you right?